Hi, this is another checkpoint video for my upcoming game synSpace Drone Runners for Android. And this weekend I worked on scripting, but instead of making the capture the flag map, which is what I intended to do, I made a map that is related to music. So first let's just talk about scripting. So this is actual scripting from a star map, so you can see we have the script tag at the very end, after which it's all Lua. And the primary function that we provide in our Lua is this onMessage function. That's how the game tells the script that something interesting just happened. So this checks for several commands. One is the launch message, which means that the local player has just launched their ship, and that's how the script finds out the ship index of the local player, which it then remembers if it wants to, blah blah blah. But then after that is a new one called beat, and this message is sent every beat of the music synthesizer. So the music synthesizer has that little beats per minute knob. That's how often these come, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. And ultimately that just calls the function handle beat message, which we'll see later. Step is the steps since the start of the song, where there are 16 steps for each pass through that sequencer. So my sequencer repeats 16 step loops over and over and over again. And a step is, well, I'm in 4/4 time, so a step is basically 1/16th note. So anyway, so I'm getting called, per beat, but I actually am going to do something on a per measure basis. So we'll see how I did that later. Then another message called option tap. That's how I know that, I, the star map, am able to provide some additional options commands that show up on the game's option screen. And if the moderator or whoever has authority to do so taps one of those, I get this option tap message, in which case I call my handle option tap message function. Okay, now we skip through this stuff that's kind of boilerplate, and we don't care about the launch message. Let's look at handle beat message. So again, I get the beat message 80 times a minute usually, and I check to make sure that I didn't get a nil step pointer, which would happen if I had trouble getting the argument out of the message. I log something. But now I convert the steps to beats by just dividing by 4, and then I convert the beats to measures by dividing by 4. I have to use the math floor option because otherwise I'd get a floating point number, and I just want an integer. And then I get something I call the phase, which is basically I play 8 measures and then repeat. So right here, if the beat is less than the last beat, is not equal to the last beat I saw, then I set the last beat equal to the beat, and I issue this command, game send message. So I'm sending a message to the game. This is the message, and this is a new one. This is display. So this is a message in the opposite direction. This is from the script to the game, and this is telling the game that it wishes it would please create a on-screen display. And you can create up to 10 of these, and they have IDs 0 through 9, and you tell me which one you're talking about. You provide an X and a Y of the center of the display, and these are proportional, so whatever size your screen is, these units just go 0 to 100. And then this particular display is very simple. It has a title, which is just the word beat, just directly over the score, which you can't see here because of this thing. Oh, weird. Oh, there we go. So beat is that actual value. So that ... is the weird concatenation operator for Lua. So that's just saying score equals and then the numeric value of beat. Okay, and then the beat, we update a little thing every beat. Doesn't mean anything. This is just an example. It's a test script. And then we check if the phase has changed from the last time we saw it. And if there's a new phase, then we do something special for phases 0 and 7, but phases 1 through 6, we just play the regular loops. So update loops is the one that's actually going to turn loops on and off. I guess I didn't actually mention it. What this script is called Music of the Spheres. And what it does is it just runs constantly, and it plays this 8-bar song over and over again, where it plays 7 bars in a row that are identical, loops, a groove, if you will, and then it plays one sort of drum roll loop, and then it goes back into the same pattern. So it's a very simple pattern. It's an AAAAAAAB pattern. But the idea is this script could be arbitrarily complicated. And everyone who's running the script is playing the same pattern. And what this script is doing is it's not composing the loops themselves. It's just turning your existing loops on and off. And it has a layout, in theory, where different loops are used for different parts of the meta structure of the song. So every time through it turns on, the top row loops are used for things like intros and exits, and the middle row of the drum pad is used for the primary main loop loops, and then the bottom one is used for my drum roll stuff, is the idea. And then, while this is playing, you can simultaneously be changing to different grooves to load different sets of loops and hear how it sounds with different loops. And then you can craft loops that actually work well with this song structure, is the idea. And we have another display we update. This is the phase display, and the phase just goes 0 through 7 and back to 0 through 7. And now I say score here because the display command takes these arguments, title and score. They may not actually be a title and they may not actually be a score. It just means there's going to be a little word on top of a really big, probably single digit or small number of digits number. Then I may have other display format. I assume I'll have other display format possibilities as well. But this is what I needed for capture the flag score. So that's what I did first. Keeping it simple. Okay, and so also the map can populate a command on the options screen. So this command option is telling the game, please create a new menu command, and I can create up to 10 of those, and this will be the first one. Mod only means I only want the moderator to see this command. The map command is clear score, and the label is clear score. So the label in this case is what's actually going to appear on the option screen. The command will just be called clear scores. And when you tap it, it'll send a message to your script, and that message will actually be the option tap message, but it'll have an argument called map command, which is the actual, if you had multiple buttons, the first button might send this message, and the second button would send a different message, and then in your script you would catch the message and do the right thing. Okay, is there anything else in here I want to talk about? As far as the loop logic goes, I just wrote a quickie routine that can start a loop and a routine that can stop a set of loops, all the loops from 1 to 5, for example. And the implementation of those is again via game synMessage. So to stop loops in range, well, I did the iteration here in Lua, and then I send this command in times, which is not completely efficient. And the command is the loop command, and for that I give it a event number, where basically 0 means turn the loop off and 1 means turn the loop on. And I give it a loop ID, and the loop IDs are just 1 through 15, the same as you see on the drum pad buttons. And then to start the loop, the same thing, only the event is 1 instead of 0. And then for handle option tap, I haven't really fully implemented this yet, but it's obviously pretty simple. You saw where I invoked this message, at which point I check the argument, the map command, and technically, if I had 3 potential menu commands, you'd see all 3 of them listed here. And then instead of logging something, I would actually, do something, clear the scores. For this music script, the logical thing for me to have here would be one that just turned it on and off, because otherwise it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay, so that's what the script looks like. So let's make sure we've saved it. No changes since last save. Okay, I did save it. Okay, so now we come over here to the game. And as you'll recall, we've got the script saved on our Google Drive. Here's the new options panel. So it has tabs along the top now, kind of like the script panel does. And the options are in different categories. There's the general options, which includes the import starmap from Google Drive right now. There's the debug options, which there's not enough to scroll yet. And there's the starmap options. And so right now the starmap I'm on doesn't have any commands. Now technically I could suppress this tab under that circumstance. But let's go ahead and import the starmap. So this is our starmap that we've got on our Google Drive. And we have to drill down to a folder and select what we want. And then we just changed it, so let's refresh it. And then we select it, and we wait for the little message, and it says it's starmap 1. So now we go visit it. We're still in Antares 7 right now. I changed the friction on this control, so it's a little easier to flip it to the end now. It doesn't stop scrolling quite so fast. Okay, so here we see temp starmap 1, so that's the one we just imported. So we select it, and then we explore it, and the music will start immediately. Probably. Oh, did it fail to load? Starmap missing. Ooh, something failed. Debug, script window, error, source. Oh, no, it just didn't load it at all. Okay, why did that not work? Is this that problem that I've had before? Let's see, I delete this one. I close this window. I open this panel again. Temp 1, that really should be it. Why did it not work? Is it just because I'm making a demo? Yeah, there's no other choice. Did I push the wrong button? Music of the spheres. Explore the starmap. Okay, I just haven't somehow loaded it yet. Okay, so as you can see, it's now pulling away. And you can see we're on beat number 1190. We're in phase 2, and when that goes to 7, we'll hear the drum solo, if you will. And then back to the regular. Now I've also got some random stuff in there, just so that it has an even longer repeat loop. But that's pretty much it. Other than, I guess, now that I've got it loaded, if I click on here, I should see the new command, clear scores, which was not there before. So, not a super exciting thing, although it's kind of cool that you can do scripted music actions. It's not what you probably wanted to do. Anyway, so I gave it an X value of 25, so 25% of the in from the edge of the screen, and 75, so 25% in from the other side. And what did I do? I guess I put them right in the middle of the screen, 50% on the Y. And you can see how it's a little word beat on top of the big number, which this, for capture the flag, which is my target, you'll never have a score that big, so this should actually be pretty good for that. I probably put them up higher. The thing about this is, since this was for music, it was actually convenient to have these controls be visible while you had the piano up. So I put them put them there. Anyway, that is my update on scripting. Thank you.